Hello and welcome to another Ducati Diaries. As I promised you, I was going to get some proper Ducati legends on, and I've got one this time. A man who steered Ducati to many world championships, a good friend of mine, the one and only MotoGP team manager, Davide Tardozzi. Davide, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Neil.
I know you are a very busy man. Just so everyone understands what time we've recorded this is the Tuesday after the Saxon Ring. And I think it's fair to say it was quite a good weekend for you, Davide.
Yeah. Finally, it was better than what we expect because of unluckily for the mistake of Jorge Martin. Because honestly, Jorge deserved the winning, but anyway, Pecco was really putting pressure on him, and 2 laps to go, he crashed. But anyway, he shows that he's a very fast guy, while Pecco shows that he deserves number one on the fairing.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us what happens after the race, just quickly. I want to talk about your career, but I'm really intrigued. So, obviously, the race finishes. You're in Germany. What happens? Is there like a big party, or is it all business?
No, it's normal. I think that during the year there are so many times where you are not happy. So when you win is the time to have a party.
Yeah, and then you fly home. I guess you flew home yesterday. Are you back home now?
Yeah. I'm in my home. No, we fly Sunday night. And I was in the factory yesterday just to fix up 2 things because from tomorrow morning till next week I'll be on holiday.
All right. Wow. Hey, this is rare. Hang
Yeah,
on.
not normal. I think that the last holiday I had was 3 years ago. So after 4 wins in a row, I said that okay, time to go 5 days in holiday in Sardinia.
After four, yeah, hang on. After 4 wins in a row, did you go to Claudio? Whoa! Come on. Now is the time. Surely I can get some days off.
Yeah. No, Claudio, I don't think that he will take days off. Claudio has a factory to run, and he is so focused to have Ducati growing in sales and victories. So
Yeah.
he's really a busy man. He is the real busy man.
No, I know. Well, he's doing a good job. I think that's fair to say. I think we all can agree on that one. So, Davide, you had a very successful racing career yourself. Winner of 5 World Superbike races. You're the winner of the very first World Superbike race. 7 Italian Superbike championships, 250 Grand Prix. You did a bit of everything, and then it all comes to an end. I'm intrigued about the transition from racer to team manager. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
uh, in the beginning was not so easy, but I think that I understood very quickly that being a racer give me something that somebody else can't have, not having this kind of experience. So I think that the main important thing was that I understood very quick, as I said, that I have to think as a rider, but not give to the rider what the rider asks. You have to give to the rider what the rider deserves. I mean, you must absolutely understand what passed through the mind of the rider, but giving him what he need to perform, not what he asks. And you know that riders always ask too much.
Yeah, yeah. Essentially, riders want everything. And you're trying to say you give the rider what they need more than what they want.
Absolutely, yes.
And you was aware of that then. Basics at a young managerial age as a rider. Was you aware of that as yourself as a rider? That this was
Uh,
maybe a weakness or a strong point.
I think that after I quit and the Castiglioni brother gave me the opportunity to run a Ducati Superbike team, I thought a lot about what I miss in my career because was not fantastic, as you said. I never won a world champion like you did,
Hang on,
but
it was a very good career. It was a very good career. So
uh, I know that they were much better riders than me. But anyway, uh, I really thought a lot the first year what I can do to be better as a manager than what I was as a rider,
yeah,
and Yeah, I think that this was the key point that let me understand few things that let me step into this new job in the proper way. Because I saw other ex riders trying to do this, but to me, not doing in the proper way. I think I learn from other experience. I take a look in the proper way, and I had also a few guys that helped me in doing in the proper this proper job, and I had riders that helped me to do it because being a good manager means that if you have a good rider, you are a good manager.
Hmm.
Sometimes, have a slow riders, you never be a good manager. You can be in the work, but not in the performance. And you and the other guys like you helped me a lot on that.
And tell me about those early years then. So the Castiglione brothers, they at that point they owned Ducati.
Yeah, they own
Did
Ducati, and in those
they approach
years,
you?
I had a bad accident on a Ducati in the World Superbike Championship race in Mugello. Then that's happened in '92, end of '90, yeah, no, end of '91. Sorry. Um, then I continue in '92, and in '93 I developed the 916. But I saw that my performance was not anymore good because I had a big problem in the left arm. So the Castiglione brother, that I was in a very good relationship with them, start to do something like we are doing now in MotoGP, to have a kind of satellite team with factory bikes. So there was a factory team, but in the end we decided to have another team with the factory bikes and factory riders, we can say, or riders under Ducati contract. Exactly like Pramac is now in MotoGP. And that's the start of my career. But finally, and that started in '94. But finally, in '96, as satellite team, we won the championship. In '98, as a satellite team, we won the championship. So Castiglione Brothers decided to have only one factory team, and they decided that I was the manager in 1999.
Right. And you talk about your first championship was with Troy Corser.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
What was that year like?
It was a kind of a difficult year because there was some financial issues from the who was sponsoring this team at that time. But finally, we bring the championship in the pocket, and we bring this championship to Bologna, and they was really happy about that.
Tell me about Troy, because obviously I'm very good friends with Troy, and I know you are quite a,
Yeah,
quite a
yeah.
character of our sport, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. It was funny because at this age, Troy was living in my house here in Ravenna, and he was really a kind of wild guy. He was very young at the time. He was 23, 24, and yeah, uh, he was quite wild. He gave me some headaches and quite some trouble. But it was so funny, and think about that. Uh, look into the past. Yeah, I also had some of my very good friends helping him, not me, in make those disasters and not caring about him in the proper way. We are near the beach, and the summer times is quite nice for a young guy.
I can only imagine, Troy. I can only imagine. So yeah, so that was 96. So what happened in 97? I was trying to remember. I can't remember what was then 97.
97 was I did something strange because in '97 I moved with Cadalora and
Oh yeah,
Troy
that's right.
Corser to 500 with Yamaha.
I've forgotten
But
about that. Completely
yeah,
forgotten about that. Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, I left Ducati for 1 year because because 500 Cadalora and Troy was something really, really huge for me. And I tried these experience, but it didn't work. So I quickly back to Ducati.
You learned from your mistake.
Yeah,
Back to Ducati and back to Superbike, and that's when you had Carl Fogarty, obviously.
yeah.
So
Finally, in 1997, Carl was not happy with the factory team. That's why Claudio Domenicali, end of 97, called me back and said that you have to be back to Ducati and you have to make a team for Carl. Carl wants a team for himself. He wants to be alone, and you must manage, build up and manage this team. And we did it in the last moment, really end of 97. We built up a brand new team. I mean, people that was not working with Ducati. So I put all those people together, and finally, 98 was a very incredible year because we had really nice races, but we had horrible races, and I guess you know that almost in summer, almost in the middle of the championship, Carl wants to retire, want to
I,
quit.
I wasn't aware of that. I knew Carl
Yeah,
was he was up and down that year, but I wasn't aware of that. What was the story there
yeah,
then?
yeah. We was in Nürburgring. It was raining both races, and Carl did I don't remember exactly, but something like 13 and 14, 15 position in both races. I don't remember 13 or 15, something like that. And it was a horrible race. So we finished the race on Sunday, and I was looking for him. And after the race, he was disappeared. And I said, okay, Carl is not happy. He back home. I will call him in 2 days. So the following week, there was the first ever World Ducati weekend in Misano. So on Tuesday, I guess, I call Carl. He didn't answer. I call home Michaela. And Michaela told me that Carl is really pissed. He want to quit. He don't want to come to Misano to the World Ducati Week. It was a matter, big
Hmm.
matter. It was this
I know I can
a guy. Not,
imagine.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
then
So
there's no GP team. It's not the Superbike was number one, wasn't it, at that
yeah,
period?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
It was that kind of superbike.
yeah.
So finally, I convinced them, and Michaela helped me a lot to let him come to Misano for the World Ducati weekend. He arrived on Thursday, and at that time, the Thursday, because World Ducati weekend was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. At that time, Thursday was open for us to maybe make some tests. So finally, it was raining on the Thursday, and I had a huge fight with Carl because I want. Okay, we had a shit race in Nürburgring on the wet. Let's try. Let's try. No, 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 no. Finally, we convince with Ernesto Marinelli. We convinced him to test. He went on track, so he started to make some laps and laps and laps. Then he crashed. He came back to the pit garage, really, really angry. Another big, big fight. But again, and again, I have to thank Michaela because Michaela helped me a lot. And finally, we convinced him to go on because he was doing much better on this test on the wet. But finally, we convinced him to finish the championship, and you know how he ended up the championship. He won,
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
and
it went
that's
to
why and that's why, Neil, because also after 99, I always say to Carl that he won 94, 95, and 98, 99. That's why I'm saying that he won 94, 95, Michaela 98, 99.
She made the difference, not him.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Michaela was really so helpful.
Yeah, so strong and worked with you and Ernesto to make sure they got, well,
Absolutely, yes.
yeah, got called to perform. What year
She,
98
she,
was?
she was really part of the team.
Yeah, yeah.
She was a really good manager.
It's so rare that, if you think about it, because again, with your experience of working with riders and girlfriends and wives, normally the girlfriend or wife, it can be a hindrance. It's not,
Ab- Absolutely, yes, because is the last that tell you something on the hair before you sleep, is the first that tell you something when you
mm,
wake up in the morning. So
mm,
the words of girlfriends and wives are very, very important. I
yeah,
think that a good girlfriend can really help on results the rider.
yeah. So then moving forward, Carl had an incredible 99 for you. I bet that was just a breeze, like an easy year. It looked easy from the outside. I was racing British Superbike that year and watching. That was the year of Brands Hatch with I don't know how many,
Oh, listen,
120,000 people. Crazy.
listen, listen, Neil, when the Sunday morning, when I open the in branch, when I open the door of the garage and I see this massive public in front of us, I, I, I was almost going to cry. And
Yeah,
I still remember one thing because we make with MCN, Motorcycle News,
yeah,
we make a kind of bet who will make the best how you call it the you know the where you write I am from Foggy or I am for Hodgson I am for yeah
yeah, yeah. The best
this
banner.
panel the best
Yeah,
panel the panel and when I open I decide immediately which one was the best.
go on.
Fuck Dolly, clone Foggy. You
That
remember
sounds.
the Dolly ship? You remember that they clone the ship. You don't remember at this age there was a clone of a ship. They start to think about the future and they
Yeah,
clone a ship.
right.
They clone a ship, and this was and the name of the ship was Dolly.
All right.
So when
You
I
just
see
love
Fuck Dolly Clone Foggy, I said that's the winner.
yeah, that sounds. There are a lot of banners that weekend, wasn't there? Though it was, yeah, it was definitely a special weekend. And like I said, it looked easy from the outside watching Carl. That was harmony, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, incredible rider, incredible bike, incredible team, all the perfect
Oh
balance.
yeah,
Really,
yeah.
that's what it
Yeah,
looked like.
and competition and the level of World Superbike on those years, and you know perfectly, was so huge. And a British Championship was really almost a World Championship. So
Mm,
when we go to UK, we always had tough races because of you guys that was there. So
yeah,
it
yeah,
was fantastic.
yeah. It was definitely a golden period. And then we moved to 2000. Carl got injured, and then this young, well, not no, actually not so young.
Not, not,
This Australian kid comes along to replace Carl, Troy
yeah, yeah.
Bayliss.
What's so funny? What's so
It was
funny?
funny
What's so
because
funny?
Troy was my teammate the year before in '99. He then in 2000, as you know, moved to America to race the AMA Championship with
Yep.
Ducati, which he wasn't so convinced on. That's another story altogether. And then everything appeared to happen for a reason. Carl got injured. Troy got the opportunity to replace. Troy got the opportunity to replace Carl, and then you can tell the rest of the story. It was
Yeah, yeah,
the first
yeah.
race was a disaster. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, but not really, and I tell you why. It happens that he was in US and he did. I think the week before he did the 200 miles. So he back to Australia because there was a few weeks of break in US. Sorry, in United States. So he back to Australia, and when Carl went injured. With Paolo Sabatti, we decided to call because the following week was back-to-back Australia and Japan, and the following week we have to race in Sugo. So Paolo and I call Troy. You are here in Australia, so please come with us. He was in what's his in Tari in his hometown, and that is far from Philippines. And I said, okay, please fly from Sydney and go to Tokyo Airport. We will see you there. So finally, we fly from Melbourne, and we wait Troy at the airport, and he didn't show up. So the Tuesday we was there, and what we do, in 2000, okay, the phones was not like now, so was not possible to reach him. So we went to Sugo, and finally we found him there. Okay, he didn't stick to the organization,
to the
but
plan.
Finally we found him there, and okay, it's done. So we adjust the suit of Foggy for him, because in 2 days was not possible to make a proper suit. So we adjust the suit, we fix up everything, and finally he start to test. At that time, we was racing with Michelin, while there was people with Dunlop, and you know that especially in Japan, Dunlop was very, very strong.
Yeah, strong.
So Sugo was one of our racetrack where we was not really performing in a proper way, mainly due to the tire, because Michelin there has no experience, while Dunlop was always there with all the Japanese factory bikes and so on. So we test. We start the Friday, the Saturday, and Troy qualify, I think, 11, something like this. That was not really a very good result, but there, not so bad for somebody that doesn't know the tire, and because Troy was racing with Dunlop in US and doesn't know the racetrack. Finally, he had a horrible race because he had the accident, not for his fault. Race 1, first corner. Race 2, third corner. So he made four corners in 2 races. Sunday night, I had Claudio Domenicali, that at that time was chief of Ducati Corser, at the phone, and he told me, okay, what we're going to do for next race in Donington. And I said, listen, to me was not so bad, because if you compare the result of Carl the year before, the time he did, and he was really unlucky in the race, I think that we can give him an opportunity. But at that time, there was Mr. Luca Cadalora approaching us in some way. And we and Claudio especially was in love with Cadalora. That was Luca Cadalora, already 3-time world
Italian
champion.
hero.
Italian hero. So for us, for Ducati, having Luca Cadalora on our bike was a kind of dream, Luca went to Donington, and Troy was so pissed because he was thinking that in Donington he can have a fantastic race, because he loved he loved Donington, and he thought that he can make a fantastic race. So when we told him about our decision, he was so pissed. But anyway, things goes on, and Luca Cadalora really was not performing well in Donington. So the following race was in
Hockenheim. Was it?
Hockenheim. No, Hockenheim, then Monza, in Hockenheim. And we was trying to convince, because being so pissed with us, he don't want to be back. He want to stay in US. So finally we convinced him. He went to Hockenheim. He did a podium, I guess.
He won. I'm sure he won. I think he won.
I don't remember if first or second.
Right.
He won.
I thought he won.
He won in Monza, I guess. I don't remember.
I'm sure he won at Hockenheim, but I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, he did podium. So and then in Monza did the fantastic overtake of four riders at the first chicane. You remember
Yeah.
that overtake? So and then he became he started to become a hero for the Ducatisti, and then he was stick with us for several years.
Yeah. And tell us what was Troy like to work with?
Oof, very easy, very
Yeah.
easy. You know what? That he was always thinking that he knows about motorbikes, and he always told us what to do on the bike, how to adjust the bike. We never did what he said. We always convinced him that we did exactly what he said, but
Never anything what he said because he was wrong.
no.
That's back to what you said at the beginning?
Incredible talent, incredible talent, incredible talent. You can give him handlebars on the back, and he ride the bike, and he's fast. We make a mistake in Monza. Setting the bike 10 millimeters lower on the back, and he make the pole position. And the following year was not in 2000, in 2001, I guess. Then he said that bike was so perfect. He said that then we see each other. That don't tell him about the mistake.
No, no.
Because we saw the bike going out to the last corner to the doing that, and
Yeah.
said, "Oh, there is something wrong, something wrong." Then at the time, Moro was his
Yeah.
crew chief, and said, "I make a mistake. I make 10 millimeters lower on the back. Okay, he make it. Don't tell him, but he make the pole position. Tell him that the bike is perfect." One more thing, it happens in 2006 or 8, I don't remember, in Portimao, that Michael Schumacher, that at the time was in love with motorbikes, that comes to Portimao after the last race that Troy won. And Michael wanted to test the bike. And I still remember in the garage, Troy came, I shake the hand to Schumacher and said, "Yeah, this is a perfect bike. Yesterday I make an easy race. I won without problem. The bike is so perfect." Michael jumped on the bike. At the time was testing with Honda VFR, something like that. And Michael made 3-4 laps. He stopped and said, "Bike is impossible to ride. He's a wild animal. How he can ride this bike?"
That was so Troy, though, wasn't it? That was Troy.
Troy had his own way to ride. He was absolutely very, very fast, but Troy's bike can be ride only by Troy Bayliss.
Yeah. I remember. I tried to, because we were teammates in '99, me and Troy. And there were times when, sometimes you can get a little bit lost with your setting. And we swapped bikes to just for both of us to try to learn something. And his bike was so nervous. The way he had the bike set, so nervous. So it was easy to turn in, easy to change direction, but it was like this sensation always. And I hated that. I prefer a heavier bike, but stable. But that was Troy.
Yep.
So then you have a difficult period in your career because you get to the point where you have to work with me for one season, which was and Reuben Xaus, the world famous. I have so many Reuben stories. Now, there is a man with a lot of energy, and Davide, a lot of self-belief.
You remember in Phillip Island, I think was 2003. Yeah, I think was your year in Phillip Island. He crashed 5 times, 4 in the practice, the 5th in race 1. Then he wants to race in race 2, and I said, "Enough, you don't race."
Yeah, I remember. Unbelievable. I remember do you remember that so this is 2003 at Sugo, it rained and Michelin said, I'm sorry, we've got the wrong tyres for you. The tyres are going to be a disaster. We've got the wrong compound. You're going to have to go really slow. This is the first practice session. So I'm like, yeah, okay. No, obviously I'm not happy, but it's like, it looks like on Saturday and Sunday, the weather's going to be okay. So it's no major stress. So again, the technician, remember, go slow. You've got to be careful. No problem. So I go out of the pits, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, Rubens, high side, already. I can see him at the side of the track, big crash. So I ride round, I do 3 laps slow, can feel the tyre. It doesn't feel good, but I come into the pits. By then, Rubens is back in the pits and he's going out on his second bike and he goes out of pit lane and I think he gets to turn 5 and I'm stood talking to you and then we both look at the monitor and I can see Rubens as another big crash and I'm like, oh my God, he's not done 1 lap of practice and he was told 2 bikes gone and you've had the warning to say, listen, you've got to go slow. So, but as you know, Rubens was so fast when everything was right. Like he was one of the fastest riders I've raced against.
Absolutely.
You know, when everything was right, he was hard to beat.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
It was really a huge talent. Sometimes I'm joking. Those words are not bad words, but sometimes he didn't connect the brain with the right hand, you know,
Yeah.
because his talent have the opportunity to give him even a championship.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Because
as you know, oh yeah, so fast. Do you know? I always say with racing, it's important to know on the days when you haven't got the speed, that's okay. But with Rubens, it was never okay. He was one of those riders. He would have to go beyond his maximum for him to get the result he thought was possible. But normally, that ended up in a bit of a disaster. So then you got the chance to work with James Toseland for, was it two years with James or 3? I can't remember. 2004, 2005 with the Xerox.
4 and 5.
Yeah.
4 and 5. Yep. James surprised me about his mental attitude. James was not the natural talent. Okay, whoever became world champion is a talent, obviously, but you can see more natural talent in some riders than I saw in James, because the first test and the first race, the first practice, he was 1 second behind Laconi. Because Laconi was really so talented. He go on the racetrack and immediately fast, while James took more time. But he was so focused in what he had to do. He was in trouble with the start. We went to Mugello and we had 1 full day of starts. So he was so focused to grow up, and finally he won the championship and he beat the guy that was 1 second faster than him in the beginning of the season. So I think that James make a huge step with his mental attitude.
Yeah, I was teammates with James for 2 years, and I don't mind saying this. There were points when we were teammates where I didn't rate James. I didn't think he was a threat to me. I'd let him follow me because I just thought he's not got the speed. But what he had, and I totally agree, was a burning desire to never give up and a self-belief, inner confidence. He wasn't arrogant, as you know, he wasn't arrogant.
Yeah.
But he was quiet and he kept himself to himself, but he had that inner strong belief. And that's why, I mean, if you think, he won 2 World Superbike Championships. And at one point, as a rookie on a MotoGP bike, he was as fast as Lorenzo.
Yep.
You know, incredible, really. So what was the next period after James? With is that when did you leave Ducati? Because you left at one point, didn't you?
Yeah. After James, we bring back Troy Bayliss. And he won 2006, 2008 championship.
Yeah.
Then 2009 we had Noriyuki. When Troy quit, we hire Noriyuki Aga and Michel Fabrizio.
Right.
And then end of 2009, for some reason, I want to call it internal misunderstanding inside Ducati. I left Ducati from one day to the other because there was a kind of problem between Superbike and MotoGP. And for
Okay.
some reason, I don't want to go deep on this matter, but
No, no, that's okay.
there was trouble inside, and finally there was few words that Filippo Preziosi, at that time the
Mm.
technical director of Ducati Corse, that hurt me a lot. That was I don't believe in you anymore because
Mm.
somebody was telling words that was not real. And I have to thank Filippo that 1.5 year later he called me and he told me, "Sorry, I know I was wrong." But
Okay, that's
anyway,
cool.
everything is clarified. But
Yeah.
that's why when my chief tell me I don't believe in you, from the evening that he told me to the morning, I left Ducati. So I said,
Wow.
if you do not believe to me,
Mm.
this is my badge to enter the
Mm.
Ducati, and that's it. And yeah, then So finally, after a couple of weeks, BMW called me, and I went to BMW. But at that time, the BMW was a kind of disaster with
Yeah.
this Alpha Technique team that they was running the team. It was a kind of disaster. No way to work with those people. Not BMW. This team
Yeah.
that was yeah. Anyway, bad
I
period.
can, I, but do you know, because I know you so well, I can imagine if somebody questioned you as a person, or if someone said they didn't believe in you, I can see you going, taking your credentials off, your Ducati one, saying, "Okay, I go, no problem," and
That's
you're
what I did.
gone.
That's exactly what I did.
I,
I
I
still
can,
remember the time. It was 7:30 in the evening. I put the badge on the table and I left.
yeah,
I left my office. I took almost nothing.
yeah,
I left everything there, and I left, and I didn't return until I was called back for MotoGP.
yeah. Wow, wow. So, can you explain that, Davide? I find it really interesting. I don't think people understand. If you work for Ducati, it's like this has to be your life. This is not a job. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not an 8 to 4, 8 to 5. What I've known with all my friends that work at Ducati, someone like Ernesto Marinelli who worked there, who was an incredible engineer, incredible crew chief. But I think with him personally, it got to the point where it was too much because there's no off. If you work at Ducati, there is no off. That's the truth, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. As I said, I landed in Bologna midnight Sunday. One something, I was at home. 8 o'clock Monday morning, I was in the office.
Wow.
Because I love, because it's not a problem. It's not something heavy on my shoulder. It's because there was something to do and I want to do it.
Yeah.
Because when I go there, I have no colleague. I have friends.
Sure.
Every colleague I have inside the factory is a friend.
Yeah.
Most of them became my very good friends. During the years, people that I share also sometimes the holidays or dinners apart the work. So that's a way that we work inside Ducati, and
Mm.
honestly. There are almost 2,000 people inside the Ducati factory. And when I across the factory, because the Ducati Corse offices are far from the workshop, and you have to across the factory. And when I cross the factory and I see all the employees asking me something or commenting something or smiling, I feel happy. I
Yeah.
feel happy.
Yeah.
Is something that is a kind of recharge. You
Sure.
pass through
Yes.
there, you pass through there, and you recharge the battery.
Yeah.
That's easy.
yeah, you represent all those people, 2,000 people. You represent them because of
I'm one of the
oh,
people
one
that
of
yeah,
course, but an
yeah,
important
one
one
of.
of a close knit team that run the MotoGP team. It's I understand that, but I wanted you to explain that because I don't think people realise it. That
No,
and this I will also say this, Davide. So when other team managers or manufacturers complain at Ducati's success, and they complain and they go, "Oh, the rules need changing. This is not fair. That's not correct." I smile because I think, yeah, yeah, Ducati are where they are because of hard work, because of an obsession, a need. It's not. It's not that you want to win, Davide. I know you so well. You need to win. You have to win. I've told you this story before. I've not told other people. When I in 2002, when I was racing World Superbikes and I was doing well, I finished third in the world that year. We had a meeting, me and you, in America at Laguna Seca, and you said to me,
I remember.
and you scared me with your eyes. You came close and you looked so serious. And at this point, we negotiated that I was going to ride for the factory team in 2003, and you said next year we have a new motorcycle, the 999. And he said, we have to win. But you were serious. I smiled because I was nervous. I'm like, and you went, you looked, we have to win. And I walked away from that meeting and I was shaking with adrenaline, and I was excited because I'm like, this was my dream. But also I was scared because I'm like, Jesus, this is and that was your passion then. And I saw you this weekend in Saxon Ring, and I see the passion is that's the same. So that and that's why, and I know you feel like that. I know Mauro Gasilli feels like that. Obviously, Claudio Domenicali feels like that. Paolo Ciabatti felt like that. Obviously GT Dall'Igna. It's this obsession, and look where Ducati is now. How does that make you feel? Look where Ducati is now.
I feel proud. I feel proud, and also regarding this kind of, I didn't remember, but sometimes people say, "Ah, no, because you have not to put pressure on rider." But champion knows that they have to live with pressure because if you want to win, you always have pressure,
Yeah,
like we have. Like rider must have because you must go to the bed thinking what you did during the day and how to be better the following day and wake up thinking okay I have to be better. That means be focused on the target.
yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
normal. That's normal.
Yeah,
And I think that in the last couple of years, mainly in the last couple of years in MotoGP, we teach everybody that things can be tested now and put it on the bike the following year or the following races. Sometimes it happens that Pirro tests something the Thursday or the Wednesday in Misano, and there is a truck that bring those parts to us for the Friday morning in the racetrack where we are, and it
yeah,
happens in Barcelona this year, like several times in the past. But I mean, we want everything. We want everything to perform in the right way and in the proper way. And if we have 1,100 that we can give to the rider to perform better, we bring it immediately.
yeah, yeah. No, you can see that.
That's mentality.
Yeah.
That's
No,
mentality.
that's clear to see. So how proud was you then after what you've explained about your time with the Superbike team? Then you left, and then the next time you're invited back into Ducati, it's to be the MotoGP team manager at a time when Ducati was from the outside in a period where they needed some structure or some direction. It looked like you were slightly lost. How proud were you then to be asked back?
Really proud, but was Domenicali that I tell you what it is because Domenicali, after Valentino Rossi times, 2011, 2012, then finally Domenicali became the CEO of Ducati, and he decided to have. I tell you what. I didn't hear, but somebody told me that there was a time where he said, "Okay, we are in a big disaster sport-wise, so I want back the old lions."
Brilliant.
So that's why Sabatti come back.
Yeah.
I come back, and obviously, the main was his idea to hire Gigi Dall'Igna. That honestly, he makes a fantastic job since the beginning. He was managing the first year. He was managing what it was already on the table. I mean, the bike that was already there, but already start for the new bike for 2015. That was is the grandma of our bike now.
Yeah. When you first worked with Gigi, what's different? Because obviously Gigi to us he's in England he's an enigma. We don't know him. We don't do lots of interviews with him. We just look at him like he's some godly presence, but we don't. So what's he like, and what does he bring?
You know what? That it was so funny our first phone call because Gigi was always Aprilia and I always Ducati. So we fight a lot in the past and discussing together about Ducati. It was so funny because we were fighting a lot in the past.
Yeah,
But yeah, the first lunch we had together. Okay, so Gigi said, "Okay, meet us for a lunch uh, and let's discuss." In the beginning, it was. I don't think, he never told me, but I don't think that he was very happy to speak with me because Claudio told him, speak with Davide, and I don't think that in the beginning, I mean, the past was there.
yeah,
We
sure.
fight really with knife, sometimes with guns. But it was funny, and then we have other chat, and then finally we start together. In the beginning, yeah, he was and he is the chief, so I respect him, and he shows what he did in the past, but also in Ducati. So I think that he deserves all the respect that this motorcycle world can have because Gigi's past, I think, speak for himself.
Oh, absolutely. Tell me about those early years then with with MotoGP, because in that difficult period.
Yeah, it was not so easy because we took immediately a funny decision to go with the rules of CRT because our 2014 bike was not really performing well.
Mm.
So Gigi decided to go to CRT rule at the time that allowed a bit more test and so on. That's why that was in the rule was possible to do it, and we did it because we start to test things for the 2015 bike that was the brand new bike. A brand new bike means frame, engine, everything
Mm.
brand new, really brand new. While now the bike is developing every year in small things.
Yeah.
At that time, we make a completely new bike starting from a completely new engine. So we take the opportunity to have some test with the old bike and to try to have some parts that need to be tested to put on the 15 bike. So
Mm.
it was difficult, but we was already focused to where we want to go. You
Yeah.
know that we are looking there. We are not looking now or tomorrow or next race. We are looking to next year and the following year. 2014 was a year like this, and
Yeah.
helpful for Gigi to understand the Ducati people because in the end Gigi need to know the people that are in Ducati, because after the disaster 2011, 2012, and mainly 2013, I have to say that when Gigi stepped in, 99, 98% of the people that make the 2015 bike, that was a very competitive bike, are the same guys.
Yeah,
So they only need to be managed in the proper way,
exactly.
because we had the clever guys anyway. There was many other things that let things go wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
Mainly there was not a chief, because at that time Filippo Preziosi was fired by top guys of
yeah,
Audi, and another guy comes from Germany that was not able to manage in the proper way Ducati Corsa.
yeah. Uh, So then the 15 bike was a big step forward because that was the whole new bike.
I still remember the first test we had in Malaysia, when we bring the 15 bike that was not tested by anyone until the test in Malaysia, and the first laps was done by uh, Andrea Dovizioso. And I still remember the eyes, the attention of everybody after the first 3-4 laps of Andrea. And he come after these laps, he stepped into the garage, left the bike to the mechanic, and he looked very serious to Gigi, and he said, "Ci siamo." Ci siamo, you know what it means in
No,
Italian? Means
go on.
we are there.
Oh, beautiful.
It's good. But he told first, he told so serious, and
Yeah,
then he laughed. And then he
yeah.
laughed. He said,
What
"Big step ahead. Big
what a
step ahead."
fantastic moment.
Yep. And everybody,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody relax.
I can imagine. What was Dobby like? Because obviously I dealt with him with television, and I know Andrea not very well, but he always seemed like a fantastic guy, an incredible rider. Also, obviously he didn't win the MotoGP World Championship, but wow, he came close, finishing second. And
But
only being
listen,
beaten by Marc Marquez on the Honda, who was Mark, as you know. So
17, 18, 19, he was second behind this fantastic Marc Marquez.
mm,
So life was very hard for him to win the
sure,
championship. But anyway, I think that Andrea did whatever was possible, and he beat Marquez 13 times, I guess.
mm.
So in a duo fight, and
Yeah, yeah, in a head-to-head
it
fight.
was
Yeah,
yeah. So I think that he did his maximum. Unfortunately for him and his career, he had to manage this good bike, and his best performance in career towards this extraterrestre. Ex- extra guys that is called Marc
sure.
Marquez.
Yeah, that was Mark's golden period as well, where he
Oh
could,
yeah.
I've seen. That's when he was crashing every corner but not crashing. That's
Yeah.
which I still can't understand how that's possible. But
Yeah.
yeah, something else. Obviously, you went through you was there when Lorenzo came to Ducati. Tell me about that, because as we know, again, I know Jorge, but he's another extreme particular sort of character.
Yeah,
Give me some Lorenzo stories.
it took a while to go in line with him, because first of all he make a big mistake trying to let Ducati become a Yamaha. He was always addressing us towards Yamaha way, and finally after couple of tests and the first couple of races, we went really in clash, because we said, listen, this is Ducati, it's not a Yamaha. No, you have to follow my riding style. If Yamaha was good, if you make something similar, I can ride in a proper way. And there was really a tough time in the first year in 19 in 2017 that I had a big fight with him in his motorhome because we was in Le Mans and he was still thinking if you give me a kind of Yamaha I can win. And I said, listen, you was outside out for the test in the mid wet, lapping 5 6 seconds lower than the other. If you want to waste fuel and tire, you can go somewhere else. And yeah, but with Yamaha was much easier. Okay, start to ride the Ducati and on a Yamaha. Change
Yeah.
your mind
Yeah.
on a Ducati. Look at to the payment that comes to the bank and comes from Ducati, not from Yamaha. And it was a huge fight. But
Yeah.
well, we are friends.
Yeah. No, but the fight was needed.
Absolutely,
That's you
absolutely.
doing your job.
Yeah, but there is a point where you have to go against what you see that is wrong, really wrong. And if you need to try to change riders' mental attitude, you have to go there hardly. Otherwise, it's not possible. Then, but I honestly say that Lorenzo is a nice guy, much better than what people think. Much better as a rider, and I have to tell you that he gave us big and huge address to the performance and to the development. There are few things, strategic things on the bike coming from Lorenzo that still on this year bike. So it was really good to have Lorenzo with us.
And that was because of his feedback.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally, he start to give the right feedbacks and not trying to make himself a bike. He start to work as a rider to transmit to the engineers the feeling
Yeah.
to develop the bike, not telling to the engineer what to do.
Yeah.
You have to tell them what the bike is doing and what
Doing
you feel
exactly. Yeah.
and what you feel, not what they have to do.
Yeah. That's such a common mistake from riders, especially lower riders. They think they have to come in to explain what you have to do with the whatever, with the suspension or
Yeah, even in a
just
small way, some riders think to be engineer.
yeah.
You have to you have to describe in the proper way what the bike is doing
Yeah.
and what's your feeling and what you expect in certain point. And in this, number one, but really number one is Pecco. Pecco is incredible how he described the bike, and you see the data is exactly
Wow.
like his words.
Wow. That was the next subject was Pecco because it's just incredible. When I've obviously I've followed Pecco from Moto3. I've been in the paddock for the past 11 years with BT Sport, TNT Sports. So I've seen Pecco, and actually right in the beginning when I first saw Pecco, I wasn't convinced that he was a superstar. Obviously he was fast. He riding for Valentino's team, and then he got on the Mahindra. And when I remember when he won his first race on the Mahindra at Assen, I thought, oh, maybe this young Italian is better than I think. And then Moto2, he won the championship. But still, I wasn't convinced that he's a top level MotoGP rider. But what he's managed to do is incredible. And it looks from the outside, you can tell me, but it looks like he's always trying to improve, working on himself, never satisfied. And obviously, he's a very intelligent rider, which helps a lot. And you've just explained that with his feedback. What's it been like on this journey to winning 2 world championships with him? Obviously, now leading for this year.
Yeah,
What's it been like?
I think that is one of the main issue of Pecco that he never stopped to learn. He's still growing. I think that the best Pecco has we will see the best Pecco, because it's not now, because I'm sure that he will grow up in the future. So he's learning a lot from his mistakes. Sometimes he repeats his mistakes, but slowly he bring this on board, and he became a better rider. So I think that there are many people like you that still maybe you not now, but some people still think that Pecco is not a champion. But if you take a look to his performance, okay, he was very fast with the Mahindra. He won races with Mahindra that honestly was not a fantastic bike. But anyway, if you take a look to his career from when he started to be in the factory team, mid-season in 2021, he won his first race in Aragon. From that time, Aragon, he make 55 races. He won 24. Whoever rider that win almost half of the races that he did in the last 3 years, I think is a champion.
Yeah.
What to say? What to say?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. No,
how
I think.
how people can discuss those numbers? You know?
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I, I've changed. Well, I was. He's definitely a champion, but I was what, like you said, I was one of the people going, he's good. Obviously, he's great, but he's not an absolute incredible rider. But now, yeah, I've changed. I've definitely changed the way I think. And do you feel that then? Do you think off the press, or the fans? Is that something you feel that people still don't quite realise how good he is?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I still feel that. I still feel that people think that Mark is still better than him, that Martin is better than him, that Quartararo is better than him. Many people think that Pecco maybe is not one of the top five, but that he win only because he has a Ducati, only because he's in the right position in the right place. Okay, but normally the right bike and the right place goes to the best rider, and
yeah,
normally there are other 7 Ducati on the grid.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but anyway, we honestly don't feel painful, and as I'm saying, the team and the rider and Ducati, we are not feeling bad for this. If people want to think in a different way, it's not a problem. We
yeah,
deserve our results, and we keep our winning in the pocket, and
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't care about those words.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen, Davide, as well. Obviously, we don't know his career's not over yet, so there's a lot of success yet to come. But I think with Pecco, when he stops racing and you look back at his career, I think people will appreciate more. A little bit like Casey Stoner. Do you remember Casey? There were periods where people are like, "Oh, Stoner, oh no, he was on the best bikes," and obviously, anyone who knew Casey knew that he was an incredible talent. So
Number one since 30, 40 years, I guess.
yeah,
I think that Casey has a natural speed that nobody else has in the last 30 years. Even Mark or whoever. Mark is a fantastic, talented guy. But I tell you this because when he came back to us from Honda as a tester, he was 2 years that he was not testing a MotoGP. We went to it was 2017 or 18. 18, don't remember exactly. We went to Sepang to test. He put the suit. He went out. We told him, okay, enjoy the
yeah,
bike, make some laps. 2 years that you don't ride a MotoGP. At that time, the lap record in Sepang was something around 2 minutes, 2 minutes something. Was There was not people under 2:0, I guess, and third flying lap 2:01. Third flying lap
that's
after two
unbelievable.
years.
Yeah.
That's
Incredible.
natural talent. As you know, when there was some wet or difficult racetrack condition in the first three laps, it was sometimes it happens in Phillip Island 5 seconds faster than the second. Then the other comes, but
Yeah,
the feeling that this kind of people, like also Marc Marquez, has with the limit is belongs to natural talent.
yeah.
And Casey, to me, number one in the world since years and years and years.
Wow, that's so interesting you say that because, yeah, yeah, I've always had Mark as number one and Casey just bit like number, but I
Different era, different era. But
yeah,
yeah, Mark, he did again with us. The sliding of
yeah.
the front tire. He did in Sachsenring
I
again,
saw
and
again
this is something that or you are able to do it, or you do once and the other you crash. He always
exactly.
do it.
Yeah.
So no discussion about Mark Marquez talent.
No, 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 no. We get that. We're nearly at the end now, Davide, so don't worry. I've got just a few more questions. I'm really intrigued to know how the decisions are made at Ducati because there's so many important people with Gigi, Claudio, you, Mauro, Paolo. How is the decision made? Do you sit around together? I pick, for example, and I've been into Ducati many times, but I picture a big meeting boardroom and the big men, the big players I've just mentioned, sit around and make the big decisions. Is that how it is, or not really?
I have to say that Gigi is really the focus of Ducati Corsa, while in the end, the last decision, the imprinting
Yeah,
uh, is made by Claudio.
yeah,
That always listen to what Gigi want to do in Ducati Corsa, and is listening to me, Paolo, Mauro. So we are a kind of we support the ideas, or we tell them we think this or we think that.
mm,
Finally, Gigi is the man, but the imprinting is from Claudio.
right, yeah. Thought that. I think you might know what my next question is going to be. I want to picture how it was decided. The the announcement of Marc Marquez. I know, and you don't have to answer it. You can answer. You are David. It's you. You answer it however
Ah,
you want to. So I'm at
no problem.
Mugello, obviously at the MotoGP. At that point, all the stories were that Jorge is it's done. It's done. He's in the factory team. Okay, makes sense. I can understand it. Then everything changed on Monday. Are you able to talk us through what happened behind the motorhome doors, behind the truck doors?
We are so sorry for Jorge because he's showing every race that he's a fantastic rider.
Mm,
It was a decision that was very, very, very hard to take, but finally we decided that Mark has something more, and we bet on this decision because we think that Mark can be even better of what he's showing now.
mm,
So far, it's obvious that Martin deserves the place. But we bet on what we see in the data, on
mm,
what we think that it can be.
mm.
Uh, so that's why it was, trust me, very, very hard decision.
Oh, I
And
bet.
it was taken after weeks and weeks of discussion, and the decision finally was taken like this in a minute. Okay, because we have to quit and we have to decide.
Yeah,
And in the end, the decision was taken. So sorry for Jorge because
yeah,
once more he deserved this place like Mark. But
sure.
you had to make a choice, and the
Yeah.
choice was made.
Was it unanimous though between you, or was there arguments?
Each one of us has his own argument, but honestly, I don't want to talk about that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I was intrigued. Um, right, just some quick fire questions. So you've managed all these riders. Well, you've already answered the first one. I was going to say, who's the fastest? But you didn't manage Casey, but your opinion, you think
The
he was the
fastest.
fastest?
Dovi, you mean? No.
No. Out of all the riders you've managed,
Ah, okay, okay,
over,
okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
you know,
Okay.
just it's like a quick fire question. If you sit and I go right then, Davide, fastest rider you've worked with?
The fastest rider,
Yeah,
including Superbike, you mean?
yes, absolutely, everybody.
Uh, Honestly, the most talented for sure, Troy Bayliss, the most talented. But the fastest for what he's showing now is Pecco.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, go on.
Pecco is really a complete rider.
Yeah,
I don't see now things that can tell me, but in this situation or that in this moment, Pecco, I guess, is really incredibly fast
yeah,
and complete, fast in every situation,
yeah,
managing mentally the bad situation, making big mistakes and winning the following day. I
yeah,
mean, he's really well prepared physically, mentally. So I think that
yeah,
Pecco is really a complete rider.
yeah. I think that's fair. My next question was going to be the most natural rider, but I think you've answered that. The most natural is well, it's sort of Pecco
Natural.
and Troy. Would you say?
Naturally, Troy Bayliss,
Yeah,
because as I told you, he knows where the handlebar is, the foot peg, and that's it. And he rolled the throttle,
yeah,
and he's fast. Whatever you
brilliant.
give him, he's fast.
Who was the hardest worker, Davide, you've worked with?
The hardest. It's funny to say what people think that was the easiest, but it's Dovi.
Yeah,
Because Dovi is a very clever guy and it's always difficult to go against his own decision. Because when he decides something, going against is very, very difficult.
mm,
So with Dovi was not so easy in the beginning to found a good, not a good relationship because I have a very good relationship, but find the trust that sometimes you tell something and he had to trust you even if you think that is wrong
yeah,
because there are times where you have to tell things to a rider and the rider has to trust you
yeah,
because you are saying this for him.
yeah,
But
yeah.
finally, it took a while. But finally, it took more than 1 year to be in line with Dovi.
But then you've got that relationship.
Yep.
Who's the most difficult rider you've had to work with? Don't say me. Do not say me.
No, more difficult. Maybe Aga was
Yeah.
quite wild. Was
How come?
not Aga was fast rider, but not really professional till the end. So it was a different era, more
Yeah.
than 20 years, 15 years ago, but was not so easy to work with him.
Okay. Which riders was the best for feedback technically? Who's the most technical rider you've worked with?
Uh, Dove in a way, but again, I say Pecco.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pecco is uh, really clever how he described the problems, and that's why we have a good speed to solve the problem.
Yeah. Right. Last question. Davide, you've been a team manager for all these years. I'm really intrigued to know what's your proudest moment, what you've achieved as a manager, what just looking back at it all.
Yeah, the winning of the next world champion.
Yeah, because
Uh,
you're looking.
I
No, you're looking forward, not back. That sums you up,
Absolutely.
really. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
like Yeah.
The past is past.
The past is
Looking
past.
forward.
Looking
I want
forward.
to win again.
Of
We
course you
was
do.
happy last year because he said, the target is to win 2 title in a row. Now a huge target is to win 3 title in a row.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Davide, thank you so much for giving me all this time. Because, like I say, I know how busy you are. I've been so enjoyed talking to you. I found it really interesting. Thanks for everybody as well that have been listening. If you've enjoyed the Ducati Diaries, please tell your friends about us. Like I say, it's a unique podcast. We get incredible guests like Davide. Davide, I will see you in Silverstone.
Yeah, very interesting race.
And it's not going to rain,
Like
so
it
don't
was
you
last
worry.
year. If it's rain, it's rain. But last year was so tough. You remember the weather last year was really
Really
tricky.
bad. Yeah,
Yep.
really bad.
That's England.
Anyway, I look forward to seeing you there. I'll buy you a cup of
Good.
tea.
Okay. Thank you,
Thanks.
Neil.